So a big day for crypto here. We have the FOMC with a resolution at about 7 p.m. GMT. Just after I get this video out, we'll see what happens with that, but plenty of news to go through nonetheless as we wait on tenterhooks as to whether Jay Powell nukes this market or not. So let's just jump right in. Make sure you subscribe and all that good stuff. If we just look at the crypto market right now, BTC chart here, and you can see that the lows have been spiked. So this means that the market makers have been potentially building their longs down here. They need the retail trader to go short so they can build longs. But overall, a very choppy day. We had quite a bit of pumpage this morning. A lot of portfolios were probably up quite a bit, and now they are down quite a bit. So not a day for trading personally. I think for most people, we are on a wait and see mode here, but this price not too concerning at this point in time. We have to wait for 7 p.m. to roll on by. So what time is the Fed releasing the new tokenomics and roadmap? We've stated it before, 7 p.m. Stay tuned for all of that good stuff. Are they going to be able to introduce a buyback and burn procedure, EIP 1559? It would seem like the US dollar requires that right now. But on the other side, they've just increased the debt limit by $2.5 trillion. So it seems that the forecast for more money printing must go on. So on the one hand, you want to be hawkish and pull back the reins on inflation. But on the other hand, you just increase the debt limit by $2.5 trillion. It would appear that Bitcoin has government support, says Michael Saylor. And that is the only conclusion I can come to also. So in the short term, things not looking too good for the market, but long term, with all the money printing continuing, even though it's slowing down, it's still going to continue. Well, Bitcoin is the ultimate hedge. And we can see from the Fed balance sheet here from 15 trillion up to 21 trillion in the matter of under 2 years is pretty crazy stuff. And as I say, they need EIP 1559 here for these dollars to be burned, because once these go into the wild, they're never coming back. There is no burn mechanic on a dollar, and thus this inflation cannot be transitory. This will just push up the prices of fixed assets no matter what they really do in the long term. So a nice little surprise for people yesterday when CoinMarketCap was showing crazy numbers, $36 million per Cardano. Very nice stuff. Polkadot up to 581 million. A bit of an issue there with the APIs going a bit mad. So did you nail the top, sir? How hilarious. Well, that tweet was reiterated by about every single person I've followed, so that was a little bit annoying. But here are some more takes on a pivotal day for the asset markets. So Sven Heinrich here, this is the first time the Fed will be tapering quantitative easing with a running bear market in stocks already underway. This should be interesting. Watch Powell try to sprinkle some dovish fairy dust on his announcement tomorrow. He doesn't want another December 2018 crash-like scenario. And this from Pentoshi, thoughts going into the FOMC. Markets are forward-looking, crypto even more so because it's not under anyone's control. It's the last standing free market. So the Fed is adding to its balance sheet, but at a decreased rate. Smart money prepped last month and slow money this week. So he's quite bearish on the market right now, suggesting that there's going to be less buy pressure than what we've been seeing, so someone has to pick up the slack. They have been giving warning signs to prepare the markets as opposed to shock it and to let the air out of the bubble. I don't expect a rate rise in the next 3 months personally, and we should see prices start to stagnate a little when we see the purchasing start to decrease. It took the power of the Fed to push these markets vertical. You remove any amount of that support, how much do you think markets keep going up at the current clip? Varied perspectives in the market right now. Some people very bearish on the overall outlook. Others just seeing that worldwide, the phenomenon of inflation is not going anywhere. It's reared its ugly head and is not going away. And what can you actually do to protect yourself in these times? Well, you need to buy Bitcoin, essentially, which should push up the overall market. So it's kind of, are we in limbo? Are we going to go down in the short term, up in the medium, up in the long? Everyone's pretty much certain that in the long term, these markets go to the moon, which is pretty apparent for anyone who's been in here any length of time. But in the short term, yeah, it looks like no one really knows. But hopefully we will see a bullish resolution to this, as I'm sure everyone wants bullish times. Then in the mainstream media here, we have the Golden State Warriors partnering with FTX. Steph Curry is one of the ambassadors of FTX. I wonder if he had a bit of a say here. So Sam Bankman-Fried continuing with the sponsorship here. And then also down here, we have this. Goldman Sachs, KKR, and Andreessen Horowitz invest into Anchorage with a $350 million round. So Wall Street firmly stepping into the crypto space here. You can't really be bearish when the big money pours in like this now. So what else is going on in the world? Well, in terms of Luna, it's getting a listing over on Kraken Exchange, a highly popular exchange, one that I do use, good user experience overall, and this is going to be native Luna tokens. So you'll be able to deposit and withdraw directly to the chain. Very useful for anyone wanting to either get in or get out of their positions. But again, another good exchange listing for Luna here. We also had the flippening just yesterday. I tweeted this out. UST will flip DAI today, 14th of December 2021. Highly bullish on this ecosystem. Never before have we been able to bat on the fact a stablecoin is going to grow in market cap. Clearly it's going to happen, and Luna is the arbitrage token for that and should accrue the value. So a very much no-brainer pick in the portfolio to have some Luna on hand, and it's held up exceptionally well right now. Here was the flippening, UST above DAI. They're having a little bit of back and forth today, but that was the first time we've had the flippening there for those stables. Next up, we have BUSD on our sites. Terra Luna here, $55. It came down and tested a previous all-time high at around 54.70 here. Bounced off it, so that is now a support line. And generally just holding up super well in the dip. Over 119,000 Satoshis for one Luna token. All good stuff with me. Then we have this Astroport, the ongoing lock drop right now. I'm contributing to this LP fund, the Luna B Luna liquidity pool. So this means that I'm keeping my directional bias of Luna going up for the long run. I can just add these two assets and lock them up over here on Astroport. There is a 17.25 million Astro allocation pool for this pair. Currently over $65 million deposited thus far. We still got about 5 days to get involved. And if you're bullish on this ecosystem, this is going to be the leading DEX on Terra. And so it makes a lot of sense if you're bullish on the ecosystem to have a position over here. And you can still, as I say, maintain your directional bias of Luna if you get into this pool with me. Then we have some NFT news here. Let's pull this video back. So this is from the Shopify CEO, and you will see a MetaMask integration popping up in just a second here as he goes to connect wallet, and MetaMask appears in the top right hand corner. Press click, sir. There you go. And you can see that you'll be able to utilize MetaMask for shopping with Shopify at some point in the future, and maybe even an NFT marketplace. So that from the CEO, posted just a couple of days ago. So super bullish on the NFT industry at large, and genuine use cases like this are clearly the way that you want to be investing. If there's any possibility of getting in with the picks and shovels plays of NFTs, I will be all over that. Then for a specific NFT project here, we have some good news and bad news. Someone absolutely fat fingered a sale of Bored Ape yacht clubs here. So someone's ape they sold for 3K instead of 300K. So if you just go down here, you can see this guy that didn't realize there was a point in front of his input. So he inputted 75, but there was already a decimal point there. So he sold his Bored Ape for 0.75 ETH instead of 75 Ethereum. So this will forever go down as the fat finger ape in my books here. So bad stuff for that guy. But onto good stuff here, the Bored Ape Yacht Club partnering up with Animoca Brands to create a play-to-earn game. They've already got on the roadmap to bring out their own token, a fungible token like we've seen with Banana for Cyberkongs and Bytes for Neo Tokyo. Holders of Bored Apes will get some form of yield in this newly found token, and it makes a lot of sense now that this could well be the token that powers the whole of this game. So it's super bullish on the Bored Apes right now. And if we just go over to this here, you can see the CryptoPunks market cap is roughly $2.58 billion, but the Bored Ape Yacht Club is quickly catching up here, 2.54 billion. So as Nansen say here, the Ethereum-based tracking application, when the flippening, and I'm sure it will happen very soon. And with this kind of additional utility coming to Apes, they're going to be a lot more valuable than punks, which simply don't do a lot. Then onto this, Moonray, a game we have covered recently, and we have an upcoming interview. I think I'm releasing it on Saturday of this week, so stay tuned for that, with the founder, Rodrigo. Well, they've just had a $3.5 million round close, and the lead investor for this, none other than Animoca Brands. So they led the seed round here, and this will help to continue development of the NFT-centric action game, which will eventually open up into a shared metaverse experience. And this one is built on the Stacks blockchain and thus settles on the Bitcoin network. So as it says, first Bitcoin metaverse game. So highly bullish on Moonray, and everything that Animoca Brands touches turns to gold in general. So the NFT, metaverse, and gaming space, we've got a load of bullish things. Facebook rebrands to Meta, Disney wants to build a metaverse, Nike buys an NFT and metaverse company, Microsoft is building its own metaverse, Adidas joins the metaverse via NFT collabs, and Grayscale says metaverse is a $1 trillion industry. So you're seeing a lot of influencers and people talk about their plans going into 2022, and most of them citing Metaverse, gaming, NFTs as areas they're going to place big bets. Makes a lot of sense. Follow the smart money and follow the technological revolution and cultural revolution that's going on. And here is probably the keys to the kingdom within this list. A load of very cheap play to earn and overall ecosystem plays within this market sector. Look at this, Merit Circle is down way over, I think 60% now from its highs. There's some very good buyout opportunities within this. If you're bullish on these, they've come down a hell of a lot from their local highs just a few weeks back. So it makes sense to be adding in here. And when you just look at the overall market cap here, 23.3 billion for all of these play to earn various tokens, and the market cap of Doge, which is the joke, 23 billion itself. So pretty much the same market cap as this whole industry. And if Grayscale is suggesting this is a $1 trillion industry, well, you really should take note of that and see for yourself that this is highly undervalued. And going into 2022, you probably want to have a good proportion of your active crypto funds deployed within these sectors. So as we wait for 7 p.m. to roll on by and see our fate in the short term, well, there's plenty of reasons to continue to be bullish. You can see the money flows in the industries. You can see exactly where it's trying to weave its way into play to earn, gaming, metaverse. And so in a downturned market like this right now, you've got an opportunity to rebalance the portfolio, deploy some of those stables into areas that you think will be high growth and will really bounce back. If you think this market will turn bullish again, I personally do. And overall, just enjoy the fact that we are in an industry that is developing very quickly each and every single day. With so much going on, you can't really get bored. So price action is probably one of the last things we should really be concentrating on. Focus on the tech and the fundamentals coming in here. If you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the post notifications, and I'll catch you guys very soon. Goodbye.